The arrival. The starship Horizon cut through the inky blackness of space, its sleek hull reflecting the distant stars as it approached the massive space station orbiting Kepler 186f. Inside the ship's observation deck, 12-year-old Zhou Chen pressed her face against the viewport, her dark eyes wide with wonder as she took in the sight of the alien research facility that would be her home for the next year. "Zhou, come away from the window. We're about to dock," her mother, Dr. Lian Chen, called from across the room. Reluctantly, Zhou peeled herself away from the mesmerizing view and made her way to her seat, strapping herself in for the final approach. As the Horizon maneuvered into the docking bay, Zhou's stomach fluttered with a mix of excitement and nerves. She was about to become the first human child to set foot on an alien research station, accompanying her mother on a groundbreaking cultural exchange program. The Galactic Science Consortium had finally agreed to allow a small group of human scientists to participate in their advanced research projects, and Dr. Chen had been chosen to represent Earth in the field of xenobiology. With a soft thud and a hiss of equalizing pressure, the Horizon completed its docking procedure. Zhou unclipped her harness and stood, smoothing down her jumpsuit and taking a deep breath. This was it, the moment she'd been dreaming of ever since her mother had told her about the mission. As the airlock cycled open, Zhou and her mother stepped out into the brightly lit docking bay. The air had a slightly metallic taste, and the artificial gravity felt just a touch lighter than Earth's. But what truly caught Zhou's attention were the beings waiting to greet them. 3 aliens stood before them, each as different from the others as they were from humans. The one in the center, clearly the leader, was tall and willowy, with iridescent scales covering its body and 4 arms folded serenely in front of it. To its left stood a squat, furry creature with multiple eyes that blinked independently of each other. On the right was a being that seemed to be made entirely of interconnected crystalline structures, refracting the light around it in dazzling patterns. "Welcome to Nexus Station," the central alien said, its voice a melodious trill that seemed to bypass Zhou's ears and resonate directly in her mind. "I am Director Zilvax. We are honored to have you join us in our pursuit of knowledge." Dr. Chen stepped forward, bowing slightly. "Thank you, Director Zilvax. I am Dr. Lian Chen, and this is my daughter Zhou. We're grateful for this opportunity to learn and contribute to your research." Zilvax's multifaceted eyes flickered with interest as they landed on Zhou. "Ah, yes, the young one. We were surprised by your request to bring a child to our facility. It is not our custom to involve immature beings in our work." Zhou felt a flash of indignation at being called immature, but she held her tongue, remembering her mother's instructions to be respectful at all times. Dr. Chen placed a hand on Zhou's shoulder. "On Earth, we believe that exposure to diverse experiences and challenges is crucial for a child's development. Zhou is here to learn and to represent the curiosity and potential of humanity's next generation." The furry alien to Zilvax's left made a series of clicking sounds that Zhou's universal translator rendered as skepticism. "And what exactly can a human child contribute to our research? We are engaged in solving some of the most complex problems in the known universe." Before Dr. Chen could respond, Zhou spoke up, her voice clear and confident despite her nervousness. "I may be young, but I'm a quick learner. I've already completed advanced courses in mathematics, physics, and xenobiology. I'm here to learn, but also to show you that humans, even young ones, can think in ways you might not expect." There was a moment of stunned silence, broken by a crystalline chiming that Zhou realized was laughter coming from the crystalline being. "Well spoken, young one," it said, its voice reminiscent of wind chimes. "I am Dr. Crix, head of our theoretical physics department. Perhaps you will surprise us yet." Director Zilvax's expression was unreadable, but there was a new note of curiosity in its voice. "Indeed. Well, let us proceed with a tour of the facility. You will be shown to your quarters, and then we will brief you on the ongoing projects and your roles within them." As they followed the aliens out of the docking bay, Zoe couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement. She knew she had a lot to prove, not just to these aliens, but to everyone back on Earth who thought sending a child on this mission was a mistake. But she was determined to show them all what she was capable of. The tour of Nexus Station was a whirlwind of incredible sights and mind-bending concepts. Zoe tried to take in every detail, from the quantum computers that could process information faster than the speed of light to the zero-gravity gardens where alien plants grew in impossible fractal patterns. Throughout it all, she noticed the sidelong glances and whispered conversations among the alien scientists they passed. It was clear that the presence of a human child was causing quite a stir. Some seemed curious, others dismissive, and a few even appeared hostile. As they approached the research wing where Dr. Chen would be working, they were met by another alien, this one resembling a sentient cloud of shimmering gas contained within a transparent exoskeleton. It introduced itself as Dr. Aether, the lead researcher in xenobiology. "Dr. Chen, we are eager to begin our collaboration," Dr. Aether said, its voice a whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Your work on adaptive genetics in extreme environments is fascinating. We believe it could have applications in our terraforming projects." While the adults discussed the intricacies of gene manipulation and environmental adaptation, Zoe's attention was drawn to a holographic display nearby. It showed a series of complex molecular structures rotating slowly in the air. Without thinking, she stepped closer, her eyes darting over the display as her mind began to process the information. "Excuse me," she said, interrupting the conversation, "but isn't this a model of extremophile bacteria from the hydrothermal vents on Europa?" Dr. Aether's gaseous form swirled in surprise. "Yes, it is. How did you?" Zoe pointed to a specific part of the molecule. "This protein structure here, it's almost identical to ones found in thermophilic bacteria on Earth. But there's something off about the nucleotide sequence. It doesn't match any known pattern." There was a moment of stunned silence before Dr. Chen spoke, pride evident in her voice. "Zoe has been assisting me in my research for the past 2 years. She has a knack for spotting patterns that others might miss." Dr. Aether's form pulsed with what Zoe interpreted as excitement. "Fascinating. Young one, would you care to elaborate on your observation?" For the next few minutes, Zoe found herself engaged in a rapid-fire discussion about extremophile biology with Dr. Aether and her mother. She pointed out several anomalies in the molecular structure and suggested possible explanations, drawing on her knowledge of both Earth and extraterrestrial biology. As the conversation wound down, Zoe became aware of the crowd that had gathered around them. Alien scientists of various species were watching with expressions ranging from amazement to disbelief. She felt her cheeks grow warm under their scrutiny. Director Zilvax, who had been silently observing, finally spoke. "It seems we may have underestimated the capabilities of human children. Zoe Chen, would you be interested in participating in some of our junior research programs while you are here?" Zoe's heart leaped at the opportunity. "I would be honored, Director." As they continued their tour, Zoe could sense a shift in the atmosphere. The dismissive glances had been replaced by curious stares and hushed conversations. She had taken her first step towards proving herself, but she knew this was just the beginning. That night, as Zoe lay in her bed in their new quarters, staring out at the unfamiliar stars, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. She had come here to learn, but now she realized she would also be teaching, showing these advanced beings that humanity, even its youngest members, had something unique to offer the galactic community. As she drifted off to sleep, her mind buzzed with the possibilities that lay ahead. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new puzzles to solve, and new opportunities to demonstrate the potential of the human mind. Zoe Chen, 12-year-old ambassador for humanity, was ready to take on the universe. The quantum conundrum. The soft hum of Nexus Station's artificial gravity generators provided a soothing backdrop as Zoe Chen made her way through the labyrinthine corridors. It had been 2 weeks since her arrival, and already the young human had begun to leave her mark on the alien research facility. Today, however, was different. The air crackled with an electric anticipation that set Zoe's nerves on edge. She had been summoned to the Quantum Nexus Lab, a place few junior researchers, let alone human children, were ever allowed to enter. As the doors hissed open, Zoe's eyes widened at the sight before her. The lab was a cathedral of science, its vaulted ceilings lost in a shimmer of holographic equations that danced and shifted like auroras. At the center stood an imposing machine, a tangle of crystalline structures and pulsing energy conduits that seemed to defy the laws of physics. "Welcome, Zoe Chen, to the heart of Nexus Station," Director Zilvax's voice resonated from behind her. The alien scientist glided into view, its iridescent scales reflecting the kaleidoscope of lights from the quantum computer. Director Zoe greeted, trying to keep the awe from her voice. "What is this place?" Zilvax's multifaceted eyes sparkled with what Zoe had come to recognize as amusement. "This, young one, is where we tackle the universe's greatest mysteries. The quantum nexus is capable of simulating entire realities, of peering into the very fabric of space-time itself." A holographic display flickered to life, showing a series of mind-bending geometric shapes that seemed to fold in on themselves infinitely. "We are on the verge of a breakthrough in dimensional mathematics," Zilvax continued. "A solution that could revolutionize faster-than-light travel, unlock the secrets of dark energy, perhaps even allow us to communicate across parallel universes." Zoe's mind raced with the implications. "That's incredible. But why am I here?" The director's expression turned serious. "Because, Zoe Chen, we have reached an impasse. Our most brilliant minds have been unable to solve the final piece of this cosmic puzzle. And then we observed you." With a wave of its hand, Zilvax brought up another display. Zoe recognized herself, working in one of the junior labs. The footage showed her solving a series of increasingly complex problems with astounding speed and intuition. "Your approach to problem-solving is unique," Zilvax said. "You see patterns where others see chaos. You make intuitive leaps that defy conventional logic. In short, you think in a way that is distinctly human." Zoe felt a mixture of pride and nervousness bubble up inside her. "You want me to help solve your quantum equation?" "Not exactly," a new voice chimed in. Dr. Crix, the crystalline physicist, stepped into view. "We want you to approach it in a way we cannot, to see it through human eyes." The young girl took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. "I'll do my best. Where do we start?" For the next several hours, Zoe immersed herself in a world of quantum mechanics and hyperdimensional mathematics that would have made even the most advanced human scientists' heads spin. But where others saw insurmountable complexity, Zoe saw patterns, rhythms, a kind of cosmic dance that spoke to her on an almost instinctual level. As she worked, manipulating holographic models with gestures that seemed more like choreography than calculation, Zoe became aware of a growing audience. Alien scientists of various species had gathered to watch, their expressions a mix of fascination and disbelief. "Impossible," one whispered. "She's approaching it like it's music." And in a way it was. Zoe had always had a gift for music, able to hear harmonies and rhythms in the world around her. Now, she applied that same intuition to the quantum equation, feeling out its beats and cadences, its crescendos and diminuendos. Suddenly, everything clicked. With a series of rapid gestures, Zoe rearranged the holographic model, twisting it into a shape that seemed to sing with symmetry and elegance. The quantum nexus hummed to life, its crystals pulsing with newfound energy. "By the cosmic void," Dr. Crix breathed. "She's done it. The equation, it's solving itself." The lab erupted into a cacophony of excited exclamations in a dozen alien languages. Holograms blazed with new information, unveiling secrets of the universe that had remained hidden for eons. And at the center of it all stood Zoe, her eyes wide with wonder as she watched the fruits of her labor unfold. Director Zilvax approached, its usual composure replaced by unconcealed awe. "Zoe Chen of Earth, you have done the impossible. You've unlocked a door to understanding the universe that we never even knew existed. Zoe blushed, suddenly very aware of all the attention. I just listened to the numbers. They were trying to tell us something all along. As the implications of her discovery began to sink in, Zoe realized that she had done more than solve an equation. She had proven, beyond any doubt, that humanity had something unique and valuable to offer the galactic community. Her success would open doors not just for her, but for all of humankind. But even as she basked in the glow of her achievement, a small part of Zoe's mind nagged at her. The equation had revealed something else, something hidden beneath layers of quantum probability. A pattern that spoke of danger, of a threat lurking just beyond the boundaries of known space. As she looked around at the celebrating aliens, Zoe made a silent vow. She would use her gift not just to unlock the secrets of the universe, but to protect it. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she would face them with the same determination and creativity that had brought her to this moment. The quantum conundrum had been solved, but Zoe Chen's greatest adventure was just the xenomorphic nexus. The aftermath of Zoe's quantum breakthrough rippled through Nexus Station like a shockwave. Corridors buzzed with excited chatter, holograms flickered with new data, and even the station's AA seemed to hum with renewed energy. But for Zoe Chen, the 12-year-old human prodigy, the euphoria was short-lived. As she stood before the translucent force field of the station's newest addition, the xenomorphic nexus, Zoe felt a chill run down her spine. The massive chamber beyond pulsed with an otherworldly glow, its contents shrouded in mystery. Magnificent, isn't it? Dr. Ether's gaseous form swirled beside her. Your quantum solution didn't just unlock new mathematical horizons, Zoe. It opened a gateway to something else. Zoe swallowed hard. What exactly are we looking at, Dr. Ether? The alien scientist's voice was a mix of excitement and trepidation. We're not entirely sure. It appears to be a form of living energy, a sentient quantum field that exists in multiple dimensions simultaneously. We're calling it the xenomorphic nexus. As if responding to its name, the energy beyond the force field pulsed, sending tendrils of light snaking towards them. Zoe instinctively took a step back. Is it safe? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Ether's form rippled in what Zoe had come to recognize as a shrug. As safe as any paradigm-shifting discovery can be, which is why we need your help again, Zoe. Your unique perspective might be the key to communicating with it. Before Zoe could respond, a commotion at the far end of the chamber caught their attention. Director Zilvax entered, accompanied by a delegation of stern-looking aliens Zoe had never seen before. Their exoskeletons gleamed with a metallic sheen, and their eyes glowed with an unnerving red light. The regulators, Dr. Aether whispered, his gaseous form condensing slightly. They oversee all potentially dangerous research in the galaxy. This can't be good. As the group approached, Zoe could feel the tension in the air. Director Zilvax's usual composure seemed strained, its scales flashing with agitated patterns. Dr. Aether Zoe, Zilvax greeted them, its voice tight. The Galactic Regulatory Commission has concerns about our recent discovery. They believe its xenomorphic nexus poses a significant threat to the stability of our universe. One of the regulators stepped forward, its metallic voice grating on Zoe's ears. This energy field defies all known laws of physics. It has the potential to unravel the very fabric of spacetime. We are hereby ordering the immediate shutdown of this project and the containment of the anomaly. Zoe felt a surge of protective instinct. This discovery, born from her own insights, couldn't just be locked away. Wait, she blurted out, drawing surprised looks from all present. What if we could communicate with it? Understand its nature before making any decisions. The lead regulator fixed its glowing red eyes on Zoe. And how do you propose to do that, human child? Our most advanced xenolinguists and quantum interpreters have failed to establish any meaningful contact. Zoe took a deep breath, her mind racing. The xenomorphic nexus responds to thought patterns, right? What if we created a neural interface, something that could translate our brainwaves into quantum fluctuations it might understand? There was a moment of stunned silence before the chamber erupted into a flurry of discussions. Dr. Ether's form pulsed with excitement, while Director Zilvax engaged in a heated debate with the regulators. As the arguments raged around her, Zoe's attention was drawn back to the force field. The tendrils of energy had formed a complex, ever-shifting pattern that nagged at the edges of her consciousness. It reminded her of something. With a gasp of realization, Zoe stepped closer to the field. "It's not random," she murmured. "It's a language. A quantum language." Without warning, Zoe pressed her hand against the force field. Alarms blared as the barrier flickered and failed, but Zoe hardly noticed. Her mind was filled with a rush of information, images and concepts too vast for her human brain to fully comprehend. As quickly as it had begun, the connection was severed. Zoe stumbled back, her head spinning. She was vaguely aware of being caught by multiple alien appendages, of concerned voices calling her name. When her vision finally cleared, Zoe found herself surrounded by a mix of worried and awestruck faces. I understood it," she managed to say. "The Nexus, it's not a threat. It's a library, a repository of knowledge from countless civilizations across multiple dimensions. It's been trying to share that knowledge with us all along." The lead regulator stepped forward, its red eyes dimmed with what might have been humility. "If what you say is true, human child, then you may have just ushered in a new era of galactic enlightenment." As the implications of her discovery sank in, Zoe realized that her adventure was far from over. The xenomorphic nexus held secrets that could revolutionize not just science, but the very nature of interspecies cooperation and understanding. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, Zoe Chen, 12-year-old quantum linguist and interdimensional diplomat, prepared to take her first steps into a universe far larger and more wondrous than she had ever imagined. The xenomorphic nexus pulsed behind her, a silent promise of adventures yet to come, as the gathered aliens looked to her with newfound respect and hope. Humanity's place in the cosmos had just been irrevocably changed, and Zoe was at the heart of it all. The cosmic mindscape. The Nexus station hummed with an energy unlike anything it had experienced before. In the wake of Zoe Chen's groundbreaking communication with its xenomorphic nexus, the entire facility had been transformed into a hub of interdimensional research. At the center of it all stood Zoe, the 12-year-old human prodigy who had become the unlikely bridge between worlds. Initiating Cosmic Mindscape Protocol, Zoe announced, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. She sat in a specially designed chair, her head encased in a shimmering neural interface that looked more like a crown of starlight than a piece of technology. Around her, a team of the galaxy's most brilliant scientists watched with bated breath. Director Zilvax, Dr. Aether, and even the once skeptical regulators stood ready to witness what many were already calling the greatest leap in science since the discovery of faster-than-light travel. As the neural interface powered up, Zoe felt her consciousness expand. It was as if her mind was being gently unfolded, stretched across dimensions she had never known existed. Colors she had no names for danced at the edges of her vision, and concepts too vast for human language flitted through her thoughts. "Connection established," she heard herself say, though her voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "I'm entering the cosmic mindscape." The holographic displays around the room exploded with information, trying to visualize what Zoe was experiencing. But no technology could truly capture the wonder of what she saw. The cosmic mindscape was a vast, living tapestry of thought and energy. Strands of knowledge from countless civilizations wove together, forming patterns of unimaginable complexity. Zoe saw the birth and death of stars, the rise and fall of empires that spanned galaxies, and scientific theories that made Earth's greatest discoveries seem like child's play. But it wasn't just information. The mindscape was alive, aware. It reached out to Zoe, curious about this young mind that had managed to bridge the gap between dimensions. "It's incredible," Zoe breathed, her words translated into 1,000 alien languages by the station's computers. The mindscape, it's not just a repository of knowledge. It's a collective consciousness, a shared dream of every sentient being that's ever lived. As Zoe navigated the mindscape, she became aware of other presences. At first, she thought they were merely echoes of long-dead civilizations. But as she focused, she realized the truth was far more extraordinary. There are others here, she said, her excitement palpable. Other minds from other dimensions, accessing the mindscape just like me. We're not alone in the multiverse. The assembled scientists erupted into a frenzy of activity, their instruments struggling to keep up with the flood of data pouring through the neural interface. But Zoe was only dimly aware of the commotion. Her attention was fixed on a presence that seemed to be reaching out to her specifically. It was alien, yet somehow familiar. A mind vast and ancient, yet filled with a childlike curiosity that matched her own. As their thoughts touched, Zoe gasped. I think I've made contact with a being from another universe, she said, her voice filled with wonder. It's trying to communicate. What followed was a conversation unlike any in human history. Ideas and emotions flowed between Zoe and the alien mind, transcending language and even thought as humans understood it. In mere moments, she learned more about the nature of reality than all of Earth's philosophers and scientists had discovered in millennia. But with knowledge came responsibility. As Zoe delved deeper into the cosmic mindscape, she became aware of a looming threat, a darkness that lurked between the dimensions, hungry and patient. There's something out there, she warned, her voice tight with concern. A force that consumes entire universes. It's been contained for eons, but it's growing stronger. If it breaks free, everything, all realities, all dimensions, will be at risk. The mood in the chamber shifted from excitement to grave concern. Director Zilvac stepped forward, its voice steady but urgent. Zoe, can you learn more about this threat? How can we defend against it? Zoe's brow furrowed in concentration as she sifted through the vast knowledge of the mindscape. The key, she said slowly, is cooperation. No single species, no single universe can stand against it alone. But together, united across all dimensions, we might have a chance. As Zoe shared what she had learned, a plan began to take shape. It was audacious, requiring levels of cooperation and technological advancement that seemed impossible. But with the knowledge from the cosmic mindscape and the combined efforts of countless civilizations, the impossible suddenly seemed within reach. Hours passed like minutes as Zoe navigated the mindscape, serving as a conduit for an unprecedented exchange of knowledge and ideas. When she finally disconnected from the neural interface, she was exhausted but exhilarated. We've done it, she said, a tired smile on her face. We've laid the groundwork for an interdimensional alliance. It won't be easy, but we have a fighting chance. As the implications of what had transpired sank in, Zoe realized that her role in the universe had changed forever. She was no longer just a curious child or even a prodigy. She had become a cosmic diplomat, a guardian of realities, a key player in a drama that spanned the entire multiverse. The cosmic mindscape had opened doors of perception and possibility that would forever change the course of history, not just for humanity, but for all sentient life across all dimensions. As Zoe looked around at the awestruck faces of the alien scientists, she knew that this was just the beginning. The greatest adventure in the history of the multiverse was about to unfold, and she, Zoe Chen, 12-year-old human from Earth, was at the very heart of it. The universe, no, the multiverse, would never be the same again. The Quantum Crusade. The corridors of Nexus Station pulsed with an electric tension as Zoe Chen strode purposefully towards the newly christened Interdimensional Command Center. At 13 years old, the human prodigy had become the linchpin in a cosmic drama that spanned realities. Her footsteps echoed with the weight of universes as she prepared to lead the most ambitious mission in the history of sentient life. Status report, Zoe commanded as she entered the cavernous chamber. Holographic displays sprang to life, filling the air with a dazzling array of data streams and real-time simulations. Director Zilvax, looking more battle-worn than ever, stepped forward. The entropy swarm has breached the outer defenses of Universe 7A. We're losing entire galaxies by the second. Zoe's jaw tightened. The entropy swarm, as they had come to call it, was the multiversal threat she had glimpsed in the cosmic mindscape. A hive mind of quantum parasites that fed on the very fabric of reality, growing stronger with each universe it consumed. What about the dimensional anchors? Zoe asked, her mind racing through possibilities. Dr. Ether's gaseous form swirled anxiously. We've managed to stabilize the quantum fluctuations in sectors 3 through 9, but the strain on the multiverse's structure is reaching critical levels. Zoe nodded, her eyes fixed on the central display where countless pinpricks of light, each representing an entire universe, flickered and dimmed as the swarm advanced. It was time. "Initiate Protocol Omega," she declared, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "Prepare the Quantum Crusaders for dimensional jump." The chamber erupted into a flurry of activity. The Quantum Crusaders, an elite team of beings from across the multiverse, each chosen for their unique abilities and unwavering courage, assembled around Zoe. There was Caxel, a crystalline entity capable of manipulating the quantum foam itself, Lumina, a being of pure energy who could traverse dimensional barriers at will, and Voidwalker, a mysterious figure who seemed to exist partially out of phase with reality. Alongside them stood representatives from a dozen other species, including several of Zoe's fellow humans who had proven themselves worthy of this cosmic responsibility. As the team made final preparations, Zoe felt a familiar presence brush against her mind. It was the alien intelligence she had first contacted in the cosmic mindscape, the one she had come to know as the Elder. The confluence of probabilities approaches, young one. The Elder's thoughts resonated in Zoe's mind. The fate of all realities hangs in the balance. Zoe took a deep breath, centering herself. "We're ready," she replied silently. "It's time to take the fight to the swarm." With a gesture, Zoe activated her quantum harmonizer, a device of her own design that allowed her to tap into the underlying frequencies of reality itself. The air around her shimmered as she tuned herself to the cosmic vibrations. "Quantum Crusaders," she addressed her team, her voice carrying the authority of one who had gazed into the depths of creation. "What we do here today will echo across eternity. We fight not just for our own universe, but for every reality that ever was or ever will be. The entropy swarm thinks it can consume all of existence, but it hasn't reckoned with the power of life, of consciousness, of free will united across dimensions." A cheer went up from the assembled beings, a cacophony of voices, telepathic projections, and other forms of communication beyond human comprehension. "Dimensional jump in 3, 2, 1. The voice of Nexus Station's AI counted down. Reality itself seemed to bend and warp around them. Zoe felt the familiar sensation of her consciousness expanding, stretching across the boundaries of universes. In a flash of light that transcended the visible spectrum, the Quantum Crusaders vanished from Nexus Station. They rematerialized in a realm beyond imagination. Here, at the quantum foam foundations of reality, the laws of physics were more suggestion than rule. Vast, incomprehensible shapes loomed in the distance, the neural networks of entire universes, pulsing with the thoughts and dreams of countless beings. And there, writhing at the heart of it all, was the entropy swarm. A seething mass of quantum aberrations, hungrily devouring the very essence of existence. "Crusaders, assume battle formations." Zoe's voice cut through the chaos. "Remember your training. We are the multiverse's immune system, and it's time to purge this infection." What followed was a battle that defied description, fought on levels of reality that no single mind could fully comprehend. Zoe, her consciousness expanded to cosmic proportions, coordinated the efforts of her team with preternatural skill. Vaxel reshaped quantum probabilities, creating bubble universes to trap segments of the swarm. Lumen unleashed barrages of multidimensional energy, her attacks striking the swarm across multiple realities simultaneously. Voidwalker phased in and out of existence, planting dimensional charges at the swarm's vital nexus points. And at the center of it all was Zoe, wielding the quantum harmonizer like a conductor's baton, orchestrating a symphony of creation against the discord of entropy. She could feel the strain on her mind, the weight of entire universes pressing down on her consciousness, but she didn't falter. As the battle reached its crescendo, Zoe sensed a shift in the cosmic tides. The swarm, for the first time in its unfathomable existence, knew fear. Now, Zoe cried, her voice reverberating across dimensions. Channel all your power through me. The quantum crusaders responded as one, their energies flowing into Zoe like rivers into an ocean. She became a focal point of creation itself, an avatar of life and consciousness standing against the forces of oblivion. With a cry that shook the foundations of reality, Zoe unleashed the combined power of the Crusaders. A wave of pure creation washed over the entropy swarm, unmaking it at the most fundamental level. For a moment that stretched into eternity, the fate of all existence hung in the balance. And then, silence. The swarm was gone, banished to the furthest reaches of non-existence. In its place, new universes blossomed like flowers after a spring rain, born from the residual energies of the battle. As the quantum crusaders regrouped, battered but victorious, Zoe felt the weight of her achievements settle upon her. They had done it. They had saved not just their own universe, but all of creation. The young girl from Earth, who had once dreamed of exploring the stars, now stood as a guardian of the multiverse itself. As she looked out at the newborn universes, teeming with possibilities, Zoe Chen knew that her greatest adventures were still to come. The quantum crusade had ended, but the journey of discovery, of growth, of pushing the boundaries of what was possible would continue. And Zoe would be at the forefront, leading the way into a future brighter than any single universe could imagine. The Nexus Reborn, the radiant glow of countless newborn universes, cast an ethereal light across the face of Zoe Chen as she stood at the helm of the cosmic forge. At 14, the once ordinary girl from Earth had transcended the boundaries of humanity, becoming something both more and less than human, a cosmic architect, a guardian of realities. Initiating universal recalibration, Zoe announced, her voice resonating with harmonics that vibrated through the quantum foam of existence itself. Around her, the quantum crusaders, veterans of the epic battle against the entropy swarm, worked in perfect synchronization, their minds linked in a telepathic network that spanned dimensions. The cosmic forge, a construct of pure thought and energy that existed simultaneously across all realities, hummed with power. It was here, in this nexus of creation, that the fate of the multiverse would be reshaped. Zoe, Director Zilvax's voice crackled through the interdimensional comm. The Council of Cosmic Overseers is demanding an update. They're concerned about the scale of what we're attempting. A wry smile played across Zoe's lips. Even after all they had accomplished, there were still those who doubted, who feared the unknown. Tell them, she replied, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that controlled the very fabric of reality. That doubt is a luxury we can no longer afford. The multiverse has been wounded, and if we don't act now, the scars left by the entropy swarm could unravel everything we fought to protect. As if in response to her words, alarms blared across the cosmic forge. Red warning lights pulsed in a dozen spectrums, some visible only to non-human eyes. Dimensional instability detected in sectors 17 through 24. Lumina, the energy being, called out, her form flickering with agitation. The quantum foam is beginning to boil. Zoe's eyes narrowed as she assessed the situation. The battle against the entropy swarm had left wounds in the fabric of reality, tears in the cosmic tapestry that threatened to unravel entire dimensions. Their mission now was not just to rebuild, but to reinforce the very foundations of existence. Voidwalker, stabilize the affected sectors, Zoe commanded. Caxel, I need you to realign the probability matrices. We can't let chaos take hold. As her team sprang into action, Zoe closed her eyes, extending her consciousness into the cosmic mindscape. Here, in this realm of pure thought and infinite possibility, she could see the multiverse as it truly was, a vast, interconnected web of realities, each one unique, yet part of a greater whole. With a thought, Zoe began to weave. Strands of probability and potential became threads in her cosmic loom. She drew upon the knowledge of countless civilizations, the dreams of beings beyond human comprehension, and her own innate understanding of the universe's deepest rhythms. Reality itself began to shift and change around them. Universes that had been torn asunder by the entropy swarm knitted themselves back together. New dimensions blossomed like flowers, filling the voids left by those that had been lost. And through it all, Zoe and her team worked tirelessly, guiding the process of cosmic rebirth. But as they labored, a new threat emerged. From the depths of the quantum foam, something stirred, a legacy of the entropy swarm, a final trap left behind by the multiversal parasite. Zoe, Dr. Ether's panicked voice cut through the telepathic link. We're detecting a massive buildup of anti-cosmic energy. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Zoe's eyes snapped open, her gaze fixing on a roiling mass of darkness that was rapidly expanding at the edges of their reality. It was entropy given form, a cancerous growth that threatened to undo all their work. This is it, Zoe realized, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. The final failsafe of the swarm. If it can't consume the multiverse, it'll try to destroy it entirely. For a moment, doubt flickered in the minds of the quantum crusaders. How could they hope to stand against such a force? But then Zoe's voice rang out, filled with a determination that transcended mere sound. We are the guardians of reality itself, she declared, her words burning with cosmic fire. We've faced the impossible before, and we'll do it again. The multiverse chose us for a reason. Now, let's show it why. With a gesture that bent space and time, Zoe activated the Cosmic Forge's ultimate protocol, the Regenesis engine. Energy beyond imagining surged through her, transforming her into a being of pure creation. The quantum crusaders linked their minds with hers, becoming one vast, multidimensional consciousness. Together, they faced the encroaching darkness, a bulwark of life and hope against the forces of oblivion. What followed was a battle fought not with weapons, but with imagination. Zoe and her team wove realities faster than the anti-cosmic energy could unravel them. They seeded newborn universes with the potential for life, consciousness, and wonder. As the conflict reached its peak, Zoe realized the truth: the anti-cosmic energy couldn't be destroyed, but it could be transformed. With a thought that resonated across all of existence, she began to reshape the very nature of entropy itself. The darkness twisted and writhed, fighting against the change, but Zoe's will was indomitable. Slowly, inexorably, the anti-cosmic energy began to shift. What was once a force of destruction became a catalyst for growth, a necessary counterbalance to the creative energies of the cosmos. As the last vestiges of the swarm's legacy were transformed, a wave of renewal swept through the multiverse. Zoe and the Quantum Crusaders had not just saved reality, they had elevated it to a new level of existence. Exhausted but triumphant, Zoe looked out at the vastness of creation. The multiverse pulsed with new life, new possibilities, and at its heart stood the Nexus, reborn as a beacon of hope and unity for all sentient beings across all realities. It's done, Zoe breathed, a smile of wonder and accomplishment spreading across her face. We've given the multiverse a fresh start. As the Quantum Crusaders celebrated their victory, Zoe's mind was already racing with new ideas, new frontiers to explore. The Nexus Reborn was not an end, but a beginning, the dawn of a new age of cosmic discovery and cooperation. And Zoe Chen, the girl from Earth who had become a universal legend, stood ready to lead the way into this brave new multiversal future.